3.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a 3 with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, let's get this week started. It'll be a big week, lots of basketball. Got a big baseball weekend in Houston with Arkansas taking on 3 big teams in the annual Houston Shriners College Classic. And lots to recap over the weekend. That's why I love these Mondays. Mondays are like the best day to do a radio show.
They really are.
They are. You hear Matt Jenkins there in the studios. Matty T's there with him. I'm Phil Elson. I'm in the Baum Stadium radio booth today, and feeling good about today. This is it's the day after, the day after the weekend. And I told the guys before the show started today, I'm out of it. I'm like a little tired, and I think I'm always like this on Monday during athletic season because women's basketball always plays on Sundays. We had a road game yesterday in Florida. That's the longest flight for the team to take. It was a 3-hour flight back, a loss. So, you got to recover from that. Not like it really has much to do with my ability to do my job, but, we didn't get back until about 9:30. I don't know what you're like, Matt.
Yep.
I cannot stay awake on an airplane or a bus for that matter, which really is good for the lifestyle that I lead because when you travel as much as you do, you gotta fit in your sleep when you can. But then you fly for 3 hours. I sleep for 2 of those hours, and it's like good luck getting to sleep when you actually want to get to sleep. Are you one of those people that can't sleep on a plane, or are you like me that you absolutely just can't stay awake?
Well, you've met me. I'm not the most normal sized human being in the world, and me and airplane seats don't necessarily get along that well.
I can't sleep on a plane because there's no place to plug in my CPAP machine.
Yeah, that's. Do they let people on planes with those?
Yeah, it's a medical device.
I know that is. So I mean, are you allowed?
They can't count it as carry-on either. They have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
good,
I get you.
Good
Probably
to know.
You probably have to buy an extra seat for that thing. You don't have to buy an extra seat for yourself, though, Matt J. When you are.
No. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not.
good.
No. I'm not like Shaquille O'Neal or Andre the Giant or anything like that yet.
But anyway, I mean, I'm just sort of. I guess I feel a little out of it most Mondays, and here I am in this booth here. I didn't do yesterday's baseball game. I know
that was Chuck.
That was Chuck yesterday. Yeah, they were all people were excited to kind of be brought back in time for a little bit with Chuck doing the game. He and Bubba left some pretzel salt here in this booth.
Just the salt.
Just the salt. None of the pretzels. There are little salt grains all over the counter here, and I don't think Bubba eats pretzels during the game. I think that must have been Chuck. Bubba likes to have his honey stinger wafer and some Three Musketeers and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to put I guess the salt must have been left by Chuck. I heard Chuck do the game yesterday, and he does call a great game. He really does. So we got a baseball sweep. Chuck got to call yesterday's Arkansas victory, most runs that Arkansas has allowed in a game this year, but still 9-5 victory, securing the sweep. Arkansas men's basketball finally breaks a losing streak that had reached 5. Much better, much different team with Isaiah Joe. Women's basketball suffers an upset loss to Florida yesterday, 83-80. They trailed for all but 45 seconds of the game. So that'll be, of course, the big topic on our show throughout the afternoon. All Arkansas athletics to get you prepared for the rest of the week. Your calls and texts 877-377-6963 throughout the next couple of hours. And we've got 2 guests scheduled. One of them will be in the booth with me here and that is Arkansas hitting coach, recruiting coordinator Nate Thompson. And then Connor O'Gara joins us in the second hour for some college football talk. I can't wait to bring Connor on, Matt, because he wrote a column at Saturday Down South in which he compared Brett Bielema to cans of tuna. It's to try to wrap your mind around this a little bit. I mean, the big tuna is what people used to call Bill Parcells.
Yes. I
never heard anybody refer to Bielema with a fish moniker.
Is he saying that's how he smells?
I doubt that's what he smells like. I don't think Jen would let him smell like tuna for very long and still stay married to him. But I can't wait for Connor to explain his reasoning behind saying bread. It's funny too because it's like one of those moments where you realize you've insulted someone, but at the same time you gotta let everybody know that, hey, I still think this guy could get a job in Power 5 football. His whole point, Colorado hires I forget the name of the guy that used to be the receivers coach for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And Bielema had put his name out there, not just at Colorado but also at Michigan State. The two Power 5 programs that have been left in the dust over the last month and a half, really, and trying to find head coaches at the time where you're really just starting to plan for spring ball, but Bielema has been passed over both times, and I guess in Connor's thought process that nobody wants to eat cans of tuna. That's always that was always the thing that Mom would say. If it was just you and Mom for dinner, if Dad was out or you didn't know what to make yourself, you always know you got cans of tuna in the cupboard.
Right.
Like everybody's got like 3 or 4 cans of tuna in the cupboard, right there, maybe next to the peanut butter and the saltine crackers, staples, the sort of thing that doesn't go bad. So, but how often do you actually open the cans of tuna? I think that's what Connor's getting at. It's there. You actually could eat it, but do you really want to eat it when there might be something else to buy?
I'm getting hungry just reading this art. I found the article that you were talking about, and he's very detailed about what he thinks of Brett Bielema. This is interesting,
and even does explain to you why he uses the whole cans of tuna thing. So, anyway, so I mean, so let's get to basketball for this weekend. I know we'll have a shortened segment here, so we'll continue the conversation into the next segment. We want to talk some basketball. 877-377-6963. So, newsflash, Matt. Arkansas is much better when Isaiah Joe is playing and healthy. So, I mean, we knew that going in, and I think it took Isaiah a little bit of time to get back used to the speed of the game and everything he needed to do, but it certainly did look like he was back with 21 points to lead the way for Arkansas. And now, I mean, after a win over Missouri, that's not going to get you an NCAA bid. That just keeps you on the bubble. But looking forward, Arkansas is going to need 4 wins, I think, to close out the regular season and maybe do something in Nashville in the SEC tournament to get that at-large bid. But now that Isaiah Joe is back and he looks like he's at least close to 100%, maybe Arkansas can get a run at the end of the regular season here.
Well, I mean, going into this, we all knew Isaiah Joe more than likely was going to play. I know for me, and I know the Morning Rush did, and I'm sure you would agree, there was none of us that thought he was going to play 37 minutes in that ball game. And aside from a little bit of rust that he may have shown and just a little sluggish out of the start, which obviously, I mean, that's his first game in 2-3 weeks, however long it ended up being, the dude showed no rust to me. Once he got his legs under him, started going, and he had his little, like the few points of being winded. I mean, you can't argue with 21 points, and that's even with Mason Jones not having necessarily his best game from the floor, shooting 2 of 9 from the field and 1 for 4 from the 3-point line.
But you felt like it was like the rest of the team was almost like waiting to wonder if Isaiah would be back. That's why you had that slow start. I mean, down 13 points in the first 10 minutes, and it wasn't looking good there at all over the first 10, 11 minutes. But I think, they started to build a little confidence. Joe hits a few shots from the outside that opens things up. Desi Sills does his thing coming off the bench where maybe he's a little bit better coming off the bench with Jalen Harris starting. And Mason Jones didn't have to be Superman for you to win a basketball game. So, man, that was a nice win for Arkansas on Saturday. And these last 4 games, I mean, you should win 3 of them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason that we shouldn't be competitive in all the rest of the regular season, in my opinion, just based off the fact that how well he played. And now, kind of like what you just said, Mason Jones doesn't necessarily have to be Superman for the rest of the season. He can be Superman if he plays well. Absolutely, we'll take it. But now he's got Isaiah Joe back, and that'll take off a lot of the pressure on him. And especially when Isaiah Joe gets going, that'll free up Mason Jones. That freed up Desi Sills. Desi Sills played out of his mind on Saturday, and that'll free up a whole lot of those extra shooters just because so much attention is going to be keyed on, going to be put on Isaiah Joe to slow him down.
Well, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, and Texas A&M now await our Musselman's Club over the next couple of weeks. Going to need to win, I think, all 4 of them, or maybe just 3, and then a couple of wins in the SEC tournament. But you are still firmly on the bubble. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Don't go anywhere. Halftime is right back.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Tyler Wilson, former Arkansas quarterback. Do you ever think about what it would have been like for you if you played baseball?
I'm so far from that outside that it's hard for me to even go back and acknowledge that. But I think Connor, in the next year to 2 years, will be a very, very high draft pick. A heck of a professional baseball career.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Kevin Hickey Law has a great team of people who are dedicated to your legal cares. Kevin Hickey's law team is made up of experienced, caring individuals centered around divorce, child and custody, DHS matters, and more. Serving the Fort Smith area and Northwest Arkansas. Make the right decision. Call Kevin Hickey Law at 479-434-2414. And for Northwest Arkansas, 479-802-6560. Or the web at kevinhickeylaw.com, where our clients are our main priority from start to finish.
2020 annual tickets are available at Ben Guerin Golf Course. 18-hole green fees as low as $11.66 per round on a regular unlimited plan. And seniors, juniors, and veterans can play as low as $10.58 per round on the same plan. 18-hole green fee with cart as low as $22.50 per round on an unlimited plan with cart. And seniors, juniors, and veterans can play as low as $20.83 on the same plan. Book your corporate and charitable outings now at Ben Guerin Golf Course.
Have you ever dipped a grilled cheese sandwich into tomato soup? This is Scott from Calico County, and right now we are offering you the chance to do just that at a special price. You can now have our own house-made tomato soup paired with one of our 4 different grilled cheese sandwiches. Doesn't that sound good? And Calico County is introducing convenient pickup service using online ordering with the Chow Now app or at our website, calicocounty.net. So roll on in to Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Sprintern here.
And Paul.
Everyone is trying to tell you how you can spend your tax refund.
At Sprint, we're doing things differently. We're saying, keep it.
Exactly, because now you can get the amazing iPhone 11 with the all-new dual-camera system with ultra-wide for $0 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6S or newer.
In any condition.
Seriously, in any condition.
That's right. Keep your tax refund and get the amazing iPhone 11. And because Sprint likes doing things differently, they're offering a 100% total satisfaction guarantee. While I think their network and savings are great, you don't just have to take my word for it. Try it out and see for yourself.
What a way to take it to 11.
Visit your local Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1 today. iPhone 11 64 gigabytes, $0 a month after $29.17 a month. Credit applied within 2 bills. Requires unlocked trade-in, 18-month lease, new line of service, and approved credit. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Excludes tax, $30 activation fee, and restrictions apply. Guarantee applies to new lines of service within 30 days.
What's wrong, dear?
I'm tire shopping, and nobody knows anything about tires.
Jody'sAuto.com sells tires.
Where we get our vehicles fixed?
And oil changes. And maintenance.
What kind of tires do they sell?
Everything, all major brands. But it's the people.
Well, they've always been great with my truck.
And that's exactly how they are with tires. They know their stuff and can get you great tires at the best prices. Price match guarantee. You can see all the tires on their website, Jody'sAuto.com. Free flat repair and free road hazard.
And how do you know all this?
Because women understand 2 things a whole lot better than men: convenience and trust. Jody'sAuto.com can do everything to my car. One stop, including tires, and I trust them.
That's it, convenience and trust. Best of the best trust. Jody'sAuto.com, 3 locations, 3 oil change specials, one stop for tire, service, repairs, maintenance, towing, and fleets. Since 1984, convenience and trust. Jody'sAuto.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Razorbacks beat the pressure this time into the front court. Isaiah Joe, quick three, and it's good. Joe with a three with 1:09 to go. Hawks are back up 74-68. Just when it looked like the Hogs might let the air out of it, Isaiah Joe cans a three.
Well, some pretty concerning news just coming across the wire, according to Pig Trail Nation and a number of other news services. Arkansas football signee Catrell Wallace out of Bryant has been arrested and charged with sexual assault and tampering. Currently, he was arrested by the Saline County Sheriff's Office. This just coming out about 15 minutes ago. He got booked this morning at 8:45. The Benton Police Department is the agency that arrested Catrell Wallace, who is right there from Bryant, and is part of Arkansas's 2020 football signing class. 2 felonies. Again, it is a Class B felony for sexual assault and a Class D felony for tampering. He has been officially charged and booked. So this is a developing story, and not the sort of news you want to hear about a possible incoming Arkansas football player, and definitely something that Sam Pittman and his coaching staff will be keeping a very, very close eye on. And this does make you wonder, and I don't know the answer to this. Mike from Fort Smith texted in a question about if the U of A could get out of the NLI letter that Wallace signed just a few weeks ago, if the charges turn out to be true. If that frees up a scholarship, I don't know. That's something that we'll have to ask Nikki tomorrow. I don't know if signees that get in trouble with the law, if that national letter of intent is allowed to be voided by the university.
You would think, like I said, I don't know either, but you would think that there'd be some kind of stipulation with that. Heck, even with the university maybe. Well,
in this day too, where some athletes, student athletes, that have been found guilty of sexual assault have been able to transfer from one school to the next. You would think that now schools would be able to get out of that letter just because of the idea that you don't want that kind of problem on campus at all. Not like you ever wanted that problem on campus before this day and age, but now. Especially you got Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty for a couple of counts of rape. So, this is all these things kind of come together, and Arkansas, Arkansas, not now or ever, can be viewed upon as a school that allows somebody that has been convicted of either of these charges to play for them. First of all, if he's going to be convicted, he's going to jail. So, being charged is one thing. And you're going to have to see how the justice system plays out. But that's very, very concerning news about Catrell Wallace, who right now is in the Saline County Sheriff's Office. Wow. Okay, 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime today. And we can switch gears and get over to basketball here. I want some sound from Eric Musselman on the Hogs' victory against the Missouri Tigers. First of all, so I know you guys have the sound back there at the studio. We've got this sound of Muss talking about getting a big home win. It's just nice, for one thing, for winning a home game that you had the sellout. Arkansas in the sellouts this year, you had the loss against Kentucky, a win against TCU, lost to Mississippi State, and now a win against Missouri. I think one more game is sold out at home. So I think it's really nice to get the home win. Yeah. It's nice to do it in front of a sold-out crowd. It's nice to end a 5-game losing streak, and it's nice to know that you're still on the bubble.
This is Musselman talking about that importance.
We understand we got some of the most passionate fans in all of college basketball. It's not just our sport. You look at what gymnastics had last night at their event. You can go over to the baseball stadium and see, we have incredible fans. And so they're passionate. And we've talked to our guys a lot just about, hey, man, when you got 18,000 people or whatever, like, we want them coming back. You got to get wins. You got to play as hard as you possibly can. Our team has battled. I mean, I know we've come up short of late and haven't played very good basketball the last 5 to 7 games, but they get down at Florida a large margin. They don't quit. They cut the thing to 2. Having said all that, I get it. Like, it's all about wins and losses. It's not horseshoes where you get close and so we got our guy back, and he made big shots for us, and he defended, and we're a different team.
Got our guy back.
Yeah, you got him back yeah.
Man, I hate the thought that it really is that simple. But look, as good as Mason Jones has been this season, and he's still been the MVP for this team, Isaiah Joe is the best basketball player on this team. He should have the biggest impact for Arkansas when he's on. MVP and best player are two different things.
Oh, yes.
But I think Isaiah is the most talented and overall best basketball player on this club. So when you're dealing with a team that's got a short roster anyway, and then you're down your best player, can it be any surprise that you lose 5 consecutive games?
Go ahead.
We had all these other reasons that were sent into us on the text line throughout the last few weeks. Whether Musselman was being too hard on the team, or whether they were practicing too hard, or whether he was putting too much pressure on them mentally and how they were reacting to it. But I think when you look at the team's record with Isaiah Joe against their record without Isaiah Joe, it really does come down to having your best dude on the floor.
Well, I think this could go 2 different ways because, yes, we lost 5 in a row. 3 or 4 of those games, a couple bounces go a different way. And we could have won those games without Isaiah. And I'm not saying anything like we need Isaiah Joe. And clearly you can see how much better we are with him in the lineup. But a couple bounces go a different way. We could have beat Mississippi State, and we could have beat, I forget the other Missouri or whatever. That's besides the point. But with basketball, you almost need 2 guys. You need your MVP. You need your Isaiah Joe. But then you need a Mason Jones. I mean, Michael Jordan didn't win all those championships without Scottie Pippen. LeBron has his guys. Every team has those 2 anchors that they can rebound off of. Like if one struggles, you got the other one ready to go right in. Razorbacks lost their, we'll just say for lack of better terms, lost their Michael Jordan. We had the Scottie Pippen trying to lead the way, and then Isaiah Joe comes back and all is well in the world. But you got to have those 2. You almost got to have 2 good, solid anchors for your basketball team, and it showed. I mean, Mason
still got to have your guy.
You got to have your guy. Yeah.
The Bulls didn't win anything without MJ. Would they have won anything without Scottie? I don't know. But MJ was the more important of the 2.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not to compare Isaiah Joe to Michael Jordan, but it's just that's all of the things that were similar about those 5 losses in a row. What was the main similarity? Isaiah Joe wasn't there. Yeah. He wasn't available. He wasn't playing. Lots of fouls, yes. Lots of missed free throws, yes. Not as good defensively. Yes, I think missing Isaiah Joe was a reason for a lot of all of that.
Yeah.
And for me, when you look at the factor that was identical from all of these losses, it was the one guy that was not playing who's your best player. A couple of bounces here and there, that's fine. I think you could say that about a lot of basketball games. And now that Joe is back and healthy, and here's what I've been saying for the last week. And first you got to get Isaiah Joe back. He needs to be close enough to 100% to be the same player, right?
Right.
And then you need to win the rest of your regular season games because, honestly, I just don't know if 9-9 in the SEC is enough to get you a bid. And maybe a couple of wins in the SEC tournament is enough to impress the committee, and then they're looking at this body of work and saying, look at how good this team is record-wise with Isaiah Joe.
Right.
And now look at their record without him. And then they're supposed to take this into account. This is one of the factors they're supposed to look at, injuries and the effect on the team, and whether or not that injured player or injured players are back and ready to go for the tournament, which Joe will be. So, I mean, now you can look at on the optimistic end of things. that Arkansas is such a better team with Isaiah Joe. Now he's healthy and back and will be with them conceivably throughout the rest of the season. So if you win the rest of your regular season games, if you're 9-9 in the conference, if you get a victory in the SEC tournament, of course, depending on who you play, that's going to, who you play is going to matter maybe a little bit more than actually the win. If Arkansas gets a win against Mississippi State or Florida in the first game they play in the SEC tournament, rather than if they finish in the bottom 4 in the SEC and get a win over Ole Miss or against Georgia, these wins aren't going to be equally important to the committee. So, yeah. But now things are going in the right direction. And thank goodness now that the committee is supposed to take injuries into account, and thank goodness Isaiah Joe is healthy and back and will be with the team throughout the rest of March. All these factors together can lead to an NCAA tournament bid. But you got to win these next 4 games, I think. Going 3-1, it's not going to instill tons of confidence in me to finish under 500 in a league that is looked upon as either the 5th or 6th best league in college basketball right now. And Arkansas probably would be the last team in out of the SEC, or maybe the first team out. So finishing 2 games under 500 in this league is not a way to make it to the NCAA tournament. Finishing 500, I think, would go a long way. Yeah. It's weird that one win would make that much of a difference, but I think it would.
I'm encouraged. I agree with you. We need to either win the next 4. If we go 3-1 in the last 4, you're going to need some help in the SEC. And we could talk about it when we come back from the break. But I'm encouraged, or I'm a whole lot more encouraged that this could potentially go our way now that Isaiah Joe's back.
Well, we won't talk about that after the break because we're talking baseball with Nate Thompson, Arkansas's batting coach and recruiting coordinator for the number 3 team in the country. That's coming up next on Halftime, so stay tuned.
A show that lives up to the hype. You're listening to Halftime.
Only the best vehicles make it to the inventory at Hertz Car Sales. When you buy from Hertz, you know you're getting a high-quality car, SUV, or truck. The sales staff takes the time to get to know you and what you're looking for and will work hard to match you up with the perfect vehicle. You'll find that your experience at Hertz is easy and affordable as you drive away in your late-model, low-mileage vehicle. So what are you waiting for? Come on over to Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales, when you're ready.
The new year is here, and Art's Barbecue and Burgers is ready with healthy choices on their menu. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has smoked chicken that will melt in your mouth, a variety of salads to choose from, plus a grilled chicken breast that's always a smart option. And use the Waiter app to have the full menu at Art's Barbecue and Burgers brought to your home or business. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, giving you healthy choices to start the new year off right. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, next to Aaron's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Look your best with Perfecto Cleaners at the bottom of Fiena Hills. Count on same-day service, easy drive-through covered drop-off and pickup window, and fast turnaround on alterations. Perfecto Cleaners always goes the extra mile to ensure your clothes look their best, making you look your best. Be sure to clip their coupons in the yellow pages, and as always, in by 9 and out by 5 Monday through Friday. Perfecto Cleaners, just off Jenny Lind at the bottom of Fiena Hills. Perfecto Cleaners, making you look your best.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
What's your family's security worth to you? Have you put off adding a security system to your home for another year? Or are you just waiting for someone to break in to be that final straw? Use your income tax return to add a security system to your home for as little as $495 and $15.95 a month. Guardtronic has a package to help secure your home. Call today for a free estimate, 479-785-2323, or visit the website, guardtronic.com. License EO50.
Well, the new year is in full swing and it's business as usual.
but it doesn't have to be. If you're stuck with an old phone system or an old slow internet connection, chances are the technology curve has passed you by. Why not let Pinnacle Telecom help you get back up to speed? With lightning-fast fiber internet connections and IP phone systems, Pinnacle Telecom can ensure you're not left behind. Get 4 new IP phones for as little as $99 per month. Check us out at pinnacletelecom.com. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Circles right side, kicks right corner, Ramirez, catch and shoot 3, good, another one, and it's a 1-point game. Well, let's talk some Arkansas baseball with Arkansas hitting coach Nate Thompson. Of course, also works as the recruiting coordinator for the, I was going to say, third-ranked team in the country. We've got poll soup going on, Nate. I never know which poll to trust. I just go with the poll that's got Arkansas ranked the highest. So they've got them at third in one of the polls. That work for you?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, good. That sounds good to me as well. News just coming out of the SEC office that Robert Moore has been named co-player of the week in the SEC. So I guess there's 2 ways to look at this, Nate. 1, that's back-to-back weeks that one of your hitters has won player of the week. 2, what do we got to do to get the co off of the player of the week thing? Because Heston had that last week too.
Yeah, they're trying to spread the wealth a little bit and keep everybody happy, I guess. So hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, no, of course. In this league, if you're going to be picked as one of the 2 best players of the week, you've done pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Robert Moore is what everybody wants to talk about right now, Nate. And I think there's good reason because, and I only was here for one of the 4 games against Gonzaga, stuck around for a couple innings here and there. But we had him up here for the postgame show after Friday's win. And I'm not really sure if I was more impressed with watching Robert in the field at bat or just the way he talks. Mm-hmm. He's a really impressive person. He just doesn't seem like he's 17 years old.
Yeah, he's awfully mature, and that's was a big factor in bringing him in because we felt like that he was going to be ready for this, and it's a big step, but from a talent standpoint and a personality standpoint, all the factors pointed to yes, and so we're very, very glad he's here. Of course,
I don't want to make too much about his connection to the major leagues, but I do feel that's got to be a factor in why he seems to be so mature in a baseball sense. His father's Dayton Moore. He's run the Kansas City Royals for a long time now, and I get the sense it's like when you grow up around baseball clubhouses, around that major league mentality, when you've seen it done on in a very professional way for a long time, it's got to have an effect on you. And I think Robert soaked a lot of that in.
Absolutely. And you ever have the chance to meet his dad, Dayton Moore, where he gets it. Mm-hmm. Professional is the exact right word to describe it. Classy, just all the way around. Good people that you want to be around.
So, and he fits in with this club really well. The guys like to give him some stuff, and for good, he's accepting it as well. And that's another thing that maybe you pick up when you're around clubhouses. If they're not making fun of you, they don't care about you very much. I think this team cares about Robert because I see them giving him a lot of guff.
Well, they see what he brings to the field every day from an effort and a hustle and a standpoint that he's making the team better.
Yeah.
And hey, we all just want to win, and so, but the personality piece to it really comes along in a great way for him, and we have a bunch of great kids.
I want to get your thoughts on just 2 guys that have really started to show out here during the season. The first one being Christian Franklin. And I know me and Phil have talked about it too, just the ability to move him throughout the lineup. Last year kind of being in the bottom part of the lineup, now sitting in the 5 spot, I think, for most of the weekend. Just talk about his development. Right now batting .440 on the year so far.
Well, Christian's one of the hardest working players in our program. Sometimes I actually have to tell him to, take fewer swings because, I want to keep him fresh. And I told him the other day, I'm like, hey, man, you're good. you don't have to take 500 swings a day to keep progressing. So
is there such a thing as too much practice?
Well, it's a long season, and we just like Coach Van Horn talks about all the time. We want to be good at the end and stay fresh till then. And and obviously you're always working on something. But I give Christian a lot of credit, man, because there were some things last year, and in some ways as a freshman in this conference and at the level that we played at, that he got exposed at times. And but he's gone to work on his weaknesses and really vastly improved. And he's the bat speed's up. Like, for instance, one way in which he made an adjustment last year, he was getting beat by a lot of fastballs, and I just felt like he wasn't on time, and he had a little bit of a leg kick. And so right before we went to Omaha, we said, hey, why don't we try a toe tap? Mm-hmm. And
he had a good
something's got to work. Something's got to change right here.
He had a couple good games there, too.
And he did. And he's held on to it, and now it's just part of what he does. But he works incredibly hard. He's very strong. He's a gifted player.
And I think for the ability for him doing so well, I mean, with 11 hits right now, 7 RBIs, what does that mean for a club that can just kind of move him throughout the lineup? Like, if you need him in the top half of the lineup, that's great. And then if you need him in the bottom, have to get some hits from the 7, 8, and 9 spots. I mean, just talk about the flexibility that you and Coach Van Horn have.
Well, it's like Coach Van Horn. I think he said this the other day. We want to create a lineup where the opposition doesn't have a chance to breathe, and you feel like you've got a really good chance to score every inning. So if that means he's at the top of the order, great. But if he's in the middle, it just kind of lengthens our lineup, and it provides some protection for some other guys. But Christian's been doing what he's doing. I think he feels confidence, because he's seen the results come from all the hard work.
Mm-hmm. I felt he's one of the guys that could take the biggest step forward this year. And I thought maybe one way, and I saw it the first game I called, was the ability to pull the ball. Mm-hmm. And he hit with power the other way last year. I know he did that yesterday. But if he can use left field and hit, I think people look at him and think, this probably just looks like a speedster. I think Christian's got power potential, lots of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, he as a freshman when he came in here, he had a remarkable amount of power for a young guy at the opposite field. But he kind of got there in I don't want to say the bat was was dragging a little bit. Mm-hmm. And the shot that he had yesterday to right field, the bat didn't drag at all, and it was well struck. But he's worked really hard over the last 18 months to be able to generate power and backspin and keep the ball true to the pull side. You definitely saw that against Will Klein, a really premium arm from Eastern Illinois in Game 1.
So I want to ask about, you mentioned a leg kick with Franklin, and people are just drawn to seeing Heston Kjerstad's leg kick. Mm-hmm. It's usually something that you want to eliminate, but I think Heston is one of those outliers where this leg kick, I don't know how he actually keeps his timing with it. Can you explain how this leg kick actually works for him?
From a feel standpoint from him, I feel like it puts him in a position where he's just more athletic. He's, we talk a lot about staying in our hips as hitters and maintaining our posture. And for him, that's what gets him into his so-called lower half properly. And there was a time period, I think a year ago, where he wasn't quite there as much. And it just seemed just a little off. And all it takes is to be a little off in baseball.
That's right.
Like minor adjustments can make huge differences. And so that's what Heston does, and he's really good with it. And, teach their own.
We'll close on the idea of what's going on this weekend in Houston at the College Classic. You're playing 3 Big 12 teams. Now, I don't know what you learned too much from the first 7 games, but this weekend, Texas, OU, Baylor, this will be a pretty good measuring stick for Arkansas for the first month, won't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Those are really, really good programs with great pitching staffs and well-coached teams that are, those are regional caliber teams year in and year out. And so we like to challenge ourselves, and Coach Van Horn's never been afraid to go do that in the non-conference and go find somebody good to play to see where we're at. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to it and excited about the challenge.
It's also one of those instances where you usually see the opponents come into this ballpark, and they're the ones with the big wide eyes, because you just don't see college parks like this. I think we're going to see some wide eyes from some of the Razorback players because you're in a big league ballpark, and you just don't get a chance to play in a major league stadium very much. What do you think this will be like?
It'll be really cool for our guys. You know, it's just neat to be able to play on a field where you've watched it on TV a lot. You've seen it in the postseason there and that sort of thing. And so we're excited to play there. And yeah, it's one of the best ballparks in the country.
Are you tired of the trash can jokes yet? Because I feel every time we mention we're playing in Houston, everybody wants to ask about trash cans and video rooms.
Oh, sure. They're gonna. You know, the Astros they're gonna keep getting heckled for a long time for all that. I'm glad I'm not part of that right now.
We got about 30 seconds, so let me get your opinion on this. I think the commissioner needs to strip the championship away from the Astros. What do you think?
I'm glad it's not my call.
Okay. Okay.
I'm glad it's not up to me. You know, I think it's a tough deal, man.
Yeah, it's a whole other.
You can't reward cheating.
That's right.
But in this thing, and people are paying a price. There's some people that are paying a pretty hefty price for it. So it pays to do right.
Nate, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey,
thank you, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
It's Nate Thompson, Arkansas hitting coach here on Halftime. Stick around. We'll come back right after this.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
Spring is nearly here, and Kofer's Boat Center has boat show incentives up to $4,000 now through March. Check out Kofer's huge selection of boats in their newly expanded indoor showroom. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service with Mercury, Malibu, Lowe, and Garmin will keep your boat in peak condition. Find them online at Kofers.com. Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Mercury dealer, has been helping their customers create a lifetime of memories for nearly 50 years.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. 2020 is a leap year. That means you get a whole extra day to save up to $2,900 off of retail value on my best Rath Road Ready inventory selection ever. Don't settle for the usual used car. Let my team of non-commissioned solution specialists help you find the Rath Road Ready vehicle that's perfect for you. And you'll get special pricing up to $2,900 below retail value. Waiting on a tax refund? Just bring your W-2 and let us show you how you can start driving better now. If you're planning on keeping your current ride for a while, we can help with your maintenance and repair needs in our Meineke Car Care Center with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and a basic oil change for only $24.95 every day. It's still a short month, so don't wait. Limber up and leap into a new ride with great savings, killer selection, and the personal service you've come to expect from your friends at Rath Auto Resources. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Tired of all the broken promises and broken equipment at your current gym? The Fort Smith Athletic Club is the nicest and most well-equipped fitness and tennis club in the area with a state-of-the-art fitness center, Pilates, fitness classes, personal and group training, and the best tennis facilities in the region. 7 outdoor courts, 5 indoor courts, plus pickleball and racquetball courts. And free child care is included. The Fort Smith Athletic Club. Call 452-4031 for membership information.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hinton. At Champ Hinton Enterprises, we do things differently. Ask just one of our more than 35,000 customers who have bought their vehicle from us since 1984. Almost 80% of them have come back to buy another one. Why? Because Champ Hinton has one simple goal: putting people in a vehicle that meets their family needs without strapping them with an unrealistic monthly payment. See our inventory at champhinton.com. Experience the difference at Champ Hinton. Take the Arcoma exit, I-540.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is it time for a new printer? When looking for that new printer, you'll consider the new technology available, but also reliability, quality, cost, and access to service and supplies are important. With eConcierge from Dixie Digital and Xerox, you get free lifetime service coverage for your eligible Xerox printers, plus an easy way to order toner and ink. For more information, call Dixie Digital Imaging at 783-6600 or visit our website at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. Evans Body Shop has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. I am a runner. 10 years ago, I couldn't say that.
10 years ago, if you told me that I'd be the owner of a specialty running store, I would have laughed in your face. I've been where you are, wanting to make a change, not knowing how to get started, and certain that everyone would laugh at me if they saw me trying to run. Running changed my life, and it has the power to change yours too. Come find out how at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
2-2. Opitz a drive way back to right field. You can kiss it goodbye. 2-run homer. Opitz into the back of the visiting bullpen. And Arkansas leads 9-3.
One of the 11 home runs that Arkansas has hit to start the baseball season over the first 7 games. First of the year for Opitz. 2 Razorbacks have at least multiple home runs, not double digits yet. That would be something if you had double-digit homers in 7 games. Kerstad has 4, none in the weekend series against Gonzaga. It looked like they tried to pitch around him a little bit, and Christian Franklin has a couple of home runs as well. I guess I'm interested in seeing where Arkansas fits on the national leaderboard for home runs because, I mean, they've been in the top 5, 10 each of the last 2-3 years, so would make sense if they're close to being national leaders 7 games into the season.
Let's see if I can find something for you.
I got it here. It'll pop up sooner or later. So Robert Moore and Bryce Blom of Texas A&M are the co-players of the week. Blom played in 1 more game than Moore did. A&M played 5 to the Razorbacks 4. Blom also had 12 runs scored, 10 runs batted in, 5 doubles, 5 steals, 9 walks. That's a pretty good week. That'll get you a co. And Robert Moore, see, I've got my notebook here, so I don't just have to go by his batting averages.
I got your home runs when you're ready for it.
Moore was 8 of 12 against Gonzaga with 9 runs batted in, a double, a home run, 2 steals, and 4 walks, plus some really nice plays in the field. The Razorbacks are 3rd in the SEC, 6th in the country with those 11 home runs right now. Moore doing that, by the way, from the bottom of the order, 8 and 9 in the order. How many weekends is he going to be 8 for 12, or drive in 9 runs? But it does seem like you've got, and I know he even said in our postgame interview Friday that any offense that he provides is gravy. He's really just here to field the ball, and obviously that isn't the case. I think he's here to hit as well.
If he keeps going like he is right now, absolutely he's going to be doing more than hitting the ball. But having that happen, kind of like what we were just talking about with Coach Thompson. With Christian Franklin in the bottom half of the lineup last year for the majority of the year, you move him up and then you put Robert Moore in, and just being able to keep a lot of offense down on the bottom half of the lineup, that'll score big for the Hogs when they move into the conference portion of the season.
Let's get into some texts here from our listeners. 877-377-6963. Scott in Fort Smith says, talking about Arkansas basketball, at least they're not Shaka Smart. 5 stars. And a $10+ million buyout. Yeah, boy, is Texas in a bind. But hey, Texas should be able to find $10 million in one of their couches.
Yep.
Shane and Dirks saying Isaiah Joe helps the team. Witt hadn't been as good. Joe coming back. Witt had his best game since Joe was out. Don't have my box score from that ball game. Yes, I do. Let's see Jimmy Witt's numbers. Against Missouri, 14 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, only took 12 shots, and so did Isaiah Joe. Both took 12 shots, both made 6, but Isaiah hit 5 threes, and Jimmy Witt's not shooting threes. Jason in Frankfort, Kentucky, talking about Arkansas's chances at an NCAA basketball tournament bid. Says 9 wins, 9 losses playing on Saturday in the SEC tournament means you'll be an NCAA tournament team. That makes sense to me. If you play Saturday, you're in the semifinals. It means you got at least a couple of wins in Arkansas's case. But that still means you need to finish out the regular season with nothing but wins, because right now Arkansas's 5-9, and again, I don't think 8-10 in the SEC this year is getting you into the NCAA tournament. Larry and Barling asked, who's the most important player in the 3rd or 4th spot in BB going forward. All right, so here's the thing about BB. Basketball is BB, so is baseball, all right? The 3 and 4 spot works in basketball and baseball, too. So I don't know what sport you're referring to here, Larry.
Just give me both.
In the lineup, 3rd and 4th, yes. In basketball, there's a 3 and a 4. So I just don't know. I don't know exactly what he's referring to. I need some help here, Larry. Which one do you mean? Because if you're talking baseball, the 3 or 4 spot moving forward, for me, I love Matt Goodhart batting 3rd, and I like Casey Martin batting cleanup. And I like Christian Franklin batting 5th, although Dave Van Horn bumped into 6th in the batting order yesterday in order to get a lefty and Casey Opitz in the 5-hole. Casey Martin needs some protection in the batting order. I think that's plain to see. He's too jumpy. I think he's got pressure on himself. I think he allows that pressure to force him to swing at pitches that he shouldn't swing at. And this also leads to another text that somebody sent in. Bill in Van Buren said he seems Casey Martin is still getting fooled on the breaking ball, and he most definitely is getting fooled on the breaking ball. I saw that over the weekend against Gonzaga, a 3-pitch strikeout, nothing but breaking balls once, and he started the season in a slump, 5 for 24, more strikeouts, 8 than hits, 5. But he has taken 6 walks, although I know at least 2 or 3 of them have been intentional walks, so that's not really a matter of a better batting eye. So, I mean, if Casey – and, look, do you think he doesn't know that breaking balls are coming? The book is out on him. And so, you know, batters know their own books. They know they know where their weaknesses are. It's obviously something that's stuck in his mind. Either he's not recognizing the spin coming out of the pitcher's hand, or there's just something in his mind where he just can't lay off of these pitches. But as soon as Casey Martin stops swinging at breaking balls, and honestly, if I was Casey, I would force the pitcher to throw 2 breaking ball strikes before I ever swung at it. But then I that's why I don't think that he can see the spin coming out of the hand very well. Otherwise, if you see a little spin, just take the breaking ball, just spit at it, force them to throw 3 breaking balls for strikes, okay? And then maybe they'll throw you a fastball, which you can crush. All right, Larry did text in, and he said basketball is what he was talking about. So yeah, you put a BKB, I know that's basketball. Put a BSB, I know that's baseball. BB just sort of confuses me, Larry. So I appreciate you telling me exactly the sport you're getting at here. The most important player in the 3 or 4 spot in basketball moving forward. So I mean, it's sort of like been interchangeable, right?
Right.
Like Mason Jones has been the 3 or the 4 sometimes. Jimmy Witt's been the 3 or the 4 sometimes. Isaiah at the same time. I still think it's Mason as your most important 3 or 4. And I wonder what's happened here with Reggie Chaney. I still feel like you're going to need something from Chaney or a forward at some point. I know, Adriel had a nice game against Missouri, 11 points, 5 rebounds. But this is a team that's got to get, obviously you're not going to play 5 guards. I know Arkansas has tried that a few times. It hasn't necessarily worked out so well. You have to have one forward that at least gives you a good effort. And it was Adriel on Saturday. Some other games recently, even during the 5-game losing streak, there was Reggie Chaney. And those are your only real options. With Reggie now, it's 3 games in a row that he's been invisible and barely played at all. So, and that's that season of in the doghouse, out of the doghouse for him. And I do think that I guess I expected Reggie to be playing more than 4.5 minutes this late in the season when you need victories.
Well, Adriel Bailey has definitely been playing fantastic basketball. He played well at Florida, and he played well again against Missouri this past Saturday. So, I mean, I do agree. There's something that's not being said about Reggie Chaney right now, whether that's him and a coach dispute or whatever it may be. But like you said, you need a big to play well, and it may not show for points, but for effort, rebounding, and just being there, almost playing dirty ball, just getting the dirty rebounds, getting what needs to be done. Adriel Bailey has been playing out of his mind the past 2 games.
Well, and again, you don't need 11 points from Adriel. You need rebounding, you need defense, and you need energy. Just don't be a 0 if you're playing the 5 spot for Arkansas these last few games. So that would be who I think. So the women fell yesterday to Florida 86-83. That's an upset loss. Arkansas had earlier crushed Florida at Bud Walton Arena and held them to 57 points. Florida scored the first 10 points of the game yesterday and holds Arkansas off at the end. Hogs almost had a chance, though, to tie in the final second. They're down 3 with Florida inbounding on the sideline. Chelsea Dungy stole the inbound pass and got off the half-court heave in time, and she didn't miss by all that much. So they almost did force overtime after trailing for 39 minutes and 15 seconds. It was a good fight back. It's interesting because in both the men's and the women's games this weekend, the opponent was out to a huge lead early. I mean, Florida got up by, again, they scored the first 10. Missouri also had Arkansas down by 13 in the first half. And both teams did come back and at least make it interesting games. Arkansas eventually wins by 10 in the men's game, and the women end up losing by 3.
I wanted to see what you thought, too, because I know we were talking about it this morning between me and Tommy. At the end of the game, I don't remember the girl that tried to tip it in bounds, but they called it out of bounds on Arkansas. They shifted it back to Florida. On the broadcast, it looked like she was in, and I know me and Tommy.
She was in.
It looked like in. I didn't know if you might know if the being there, if the officials had another view that we didn't get to see on the broadcast. But
no, Taylor was in.
Okay.
There was no doubt. You can see on the replay, and Mike Neighbors was pretty ticked about it, to the point where I think he was even communicating with the league office while we were on the bus going to the airport.
But I do agree at the end, though, that I'm fine with the no call at the end, right before the 3-point attempt that should have been a foul, or what could have been. Yeah. Not the half-court heave, but before that.
I got an answer on television for the weekend. AT&T Sportsnet in Houston carrying the games, and MLB.com. So if you get MLB.com, I don't know if it'll be on MLB TV, but the Houston Shriners College Classic will be available on AT&T Sportsnet in Houston and MLB.com. 877-377-6963. Halftime right back.
Michael Gene Pierce is an experienced Fort Smith attorney at Gene Attorneys at Law. Michael is a former deputy prosecutor in Fort Smith and is currently the Fort Smith Razorback Club president and a proud supporter of our Razorbacks. He is seeking election as district court judge to give Fort Smith residents better opportunities in our community. Hey, make sure you vote Michael Gene Pierce for Fort Smith District Judge on March the 3rd or during the current early voting period that's taking place right now. Michael has the public service and private practice experience that our court system needs. Michael has been endorsed by the Fort Smith Fraternal Order of Police to be your next district court judge. And if you vote for him, he will keep our town safe. Go vote now and take a friend with you or a few friends. This ad paid for by the campaign to elect Michael Gene Pierce, District Court Judge.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the community we serve.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Showers and thunderstorms possible. Will be in the upper 40s to low 50s. A few lingering showers before noon tomorrow, and then cloudy in the afternoon. 60 to 65 and a little bit breezy. Tuesday, we're back to sunshine with upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
Here we go. From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Well, this town is a pigskin paradise.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Rolling into our second hour. Phil Elson with you here. I'm in Baum-Walker Stadium in the radio booth. It is an empty ballpark right now. Matt Jenkins, Matty T are in the headquarters of ESPN Arkansas there in the fort. Your calls and texts throughout the hour. 877-377-6963. Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South, 30 minutes. 3 up, 3 down. Near the end of the show, we do have a comment from Arkansas football coach Sam Pittman concerning supposed incoming defensive end and linebacker Catrell Wallace of Bryant, who earlier this morning was arrested and charged with sexual assault and tampering, Class B and Class D felonies by the Benton Police Department. And he's currently in the Saline County Sheriff Jail. Sam Pittman says, "We are aware of the serious allegations involving Catrell Wallace. We are gathering information and in contact with the proper authorities regarding the situation. Once we have additional information, we will make a determination on his status with our program." You know, and this is the sort of legal trouble that hangs around you for a while. I know you want swift justice, but justice isn't really very swift sometimes. So I mean, this is the sort of thing that the kid's going to have to. You got to figure this out first. You know, you got to figure this situation out. You got to go to trial, or if there's a plea, who knows? I would imagine that Catrell Wallace's football career at the University of Arkansas may not ever get started. And when you're dealing with stuff this serious, the football program doesn't really need to be a part of that right now. So I would be surprised. I'm not making any predictions. I don't know the situation around how Wallace got himself involved in anything that this is about, but just I understand the idea of second chances and innocent until proven guilty, but that's all stuff for the justice system to figure it out. For a football program that's trying to rebuild from the ground up, this is not the kind of trouble that you want to be a part of or that you should ever be a part of. And it's not even just for a football program that's rebuilding. Any football program. Anybody really that's dealing with that, I would imagine you're not going to be hearing about Catrell Wallace and football very much. But maybe there are some other details to come out that serve more of a purpose towards Catrell instead of being the kind of situation that makes you think that he may end up spending a lot of time in prison. All right, other things to get to. If there are any other updates about this situation with Catrell Wallace throughout this show, we will definitely update you on them. That's why we brought you the comment from Sam Pittman And again, we got that story from Pig Trail Nation. Otis Kirk was the one who was on top of it, though it's definitely breaking in a number of other news outlets. Let's stay on Arkansas football, but the great stadium debate has finally been answered, I guess, by the SEC office. And it's not – look, there isn't really even a great stadium debate anymore. The debate has been won by Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas. I mean, that's plain to see. When the debate began, you had 3 home games a year at War Memorial Stadium. And now you're not even going to get a spring game this year. I guess you'll still get the Missouri game once every 2 years, but the spring game, which did get played in Little Rock 2 years ago under completely miserable conditions, won't be played at War Memorial Stadium this year, which means that, and I don't know how this exactly works out because it was the SEC office that didn't allow Arkansas Athletics to get a waiver to play a spring game off campus. But it is the university that signs a contract with War Memorial Stadium to hold the Missouri football home game there and the spring game there once every 2 years. So I don't know exactly how this falls on Arkansas Athletics. You know, if there's a breach of contract, if the SEC office has to get involved in it. I just know, look, I still live in Little Rock. I've been there for 19 years. And I see both aspects of this argument. But I also don't really know if a spring game in Little Rock has anything that's anywhere close to the traditions that we all hear about with Little Rock, you know, the tailgating, just playing games in the stadium where they played since, 1932, 1933? I don't know if a spring game is really going to give everybody the warm and fuzzies in Little Rock about, you know, all the years that they played at War Memorial Stadium. Playing Mizzou is one thing. A spring game, I just don't think it does it for people in Little Rock. I would imagine that in Little Rock, there's like 2 reactions to this. One, and I'm not in Little Rock today, otherwise I'd have a better idea. One, either a yawn, like, okay, so we won't get the spring game. Big deal. 2, it's an understanding that eventually when this contract is up, are they ever going to play another game in Little Rock?
Well, we had Hayden Balgavy on of THV 11 this morning on the Morning Rush, and he pretty much echoed the same thing. He said that it was like a 50-50 split from people that they talked to. Half of them were probably like the old school generation where, man, we can't believe it. It's War Memorial. But then the other half, like our age, mine and Matty T's age, was just more, well, whatever. It's fine. I think part of this argument could probably come down to just how down the football program is. Because, honestly, could you tell me, like, the last time the Razorbacks played at War Memorial Stadium where it was just that electric atmosphere?
They had like 33,000 tickets sold for
the
Missouri game this last year.
And I think
you had a pretty good atmosphere for the Ole Miss game two seasons ago, although it was played in a driving rain. Look, I love games at War Memorial. You're close to the action. It's a loud stadium when it's filled up. The tailgating is second to none on the golf course. But I'm also somebody that believes in the idea of progress, you know. Look, when back in the day when War Memorial Stadium and Razorback Stadium were similar in some ways, are over. You know, these are completely different. You've got like practically an NFL stadium in Fayetteville.
Yes.
And War Memorial Stadium is a glorified high school field. A big, nice high school field, but it's not anywhere close to being a top-notch college football venue.
I agree.
And I understand all of the talk about, well, how are other people in the state going to see the team play? By turning the television on, just the way everybody else does. You know, the days of having to go to the stadium to watch the team play are over. That's not what it's about anymore.
There's too many ways for us to watch Razorback football anymore.
But I'd love games to continue in Little Rock just because I always enjoyed going to those games. I love the scene around the center of town when they played there. But I mean, this is just a sign. It's just another sign when the SEC office says, well, you don't play 2 home games a year there. We're not letting you play your spring game there. It's just a sign. Look, I mean, enjoy the games there while you can because it's not going to last forever. I don't know who else is going to play in that stadium.
Well, I mean, like you said, you see both sides of the argument. I'm a Central Arkansas guy, and yes, it's a whole lot easier for me to drive 30, 40 minutes to go to War Memorial than it is to Fayetteville. But when you spend the amount of money that the university has on expanding that football stadium and everything that goes into it at Fayetteville, you have to play. I mean, it's eventually, like you said, it's eventually going to get out of this. Plus, you can't host recruits at Little Rock, and I think that's going to play a lot into the future decision making with that. Also, that you can't have recruits at Little Rock, but you can have I know you can't have as many as you want, but you can host as many as you can at Fayetteville.
Playing a spring game in Little Rock is really just trying to appease a part of the state that even understood that that's not enough of an appeasement. So if there are people that are really going to give up their fandom of Arkansas football or give up their tickets and because they won't play in Little Rock, then that's on you. I don't know. That's not necessarily on the university. When you play, look, they're going to have 7 home games in Fayetteville this year. That's the first time it's ever happened. This is a stadium that's ready for something like it. Little Rock isn't necessarily ready for that. You can play baseball once a year, basketball once a year there, but you have so many other home games. In football, it's a different thing, So
yeah. And it's a great home schedule too.
I can always take an issue or a topic and split it down the middle and look at both sides. I'm really starting to come on the side of there's really not going to be much reason to be playing in Little Rock much longer, if there even is that reason now. And I know that angers some people. Anyway, halftime's right back.
Shooters shoot. You're listening to Halftime. What it's doing to me ain't a secret. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Tyler Wilson, former Arkansas quarterback. Do you ever think about what it would have been like for you if you'd played baseball?
I'm so far from that outside that it's hard for me to even go back and acknowledge that. But I think Connor, in the next year to 2 years, will be a very, very high draft pick. A heck of a professional baseball career.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
It's Truck Month, and the 2019 F-150s must go at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Remaining 2019 F-150s up to $11,000 off and 0% for 72 months. This is unheard of. $11,000 off and 0 for 72. And remaining 2019 Ford Expeditions while they last up to $15,000 off. It's Truck Month. The 2019s must go at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Well, another decade has come and gone, and the year 2020 is here to stay a bit. Why not start another year with a brand new IP phone system from Pinnacle Telecom? And better yet, how about if it costs you nothing on the front end? That's right. To celebrate a new decade, Pinnacle Telecom will waive the installation costs for all cloud-based hosted IP phone systems. Voicemail to email, music on hold, auto attendant, and a ton of other features included. Check us out at pinnacletelecom.com or give us a call, 479-242-0000.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
What's in store this week at your local Staples?
A front row seat to savings.
All month long at Staples, you can save up to 40% on select chairs.
Executive or desk chairs for the office.
Right now, up to 40% off.
And gaming chairs for your home.
Also up to 40% off.
So whether you're outfitting your home, your office, or your home office,
take a seat and save big all month long at Staples,
where there's a whole lot more in store.
Ends 2/29/20 while supplies last.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Sprintern here.
And Paul.
Everyone is trying to tell you how you can spend your tax refund.
At Sprint,
We're doing things differently. We're saying keep it.
Exactly, because now you can get the amazing iPhone 11 with the all-new dual-camera system with ultra-wide for $0 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6S or newer.
In any condition.
Seriously, in any condition.
That's right. Keep your tax refund and get the amazing iPhone 11. And because Sprint likes doing things differently, they're offering a 100% total satisfaction guarantee. While I think their network and savings are great, you don't just have to take my word for it. Try it out and see for yourself.
What a way to take it to 11.
Visit your local Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1 today. iPhone 11 64 gigabyte, $0 a month after $29.17 a month. Credit applied within 2 bills. Requires unlocked trade-in, 18-month lease, new line of service, and approved credit. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Excludes tax, $30 activation fee, and restrictions apply. Guarantee applies to new lines of service within 30 days.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
67-66. Vandy's not going to call a timeout. We got an offensive foul. Saban Lee pushed off his 5th foul of the game, and Arkansas is going to get the ball with 8.2 to go.
I thought he was great. We just can't afford a guy like Isaiah not to be in our lineup. I thought he was awesome. You know, he opens up 3 balls for other people as well, just being out there. And I thought he moved really well. I thought he got a little bit winded at certain stretches. But, you know, look, we won a game at home in double digits and got one of the best players back in uniform tonight in the conference. And
well, how about that? So go figure. Getting Isaiah Joe opens up the threes for the rest of the team. Arkansas matched their season high with 12 threes yesterday. Getting Isaiah Joe back. He finished with 5 of them, but Desi Sills also was able to knock some down, knocking down 4 of 6 threes and finished with 17 points, which was second to Isaiah Joe's 21. And maybe, Matt, the best part about this whole deal from Saturday, you know, other than the points and the win and anything, was seeing Isaiah Joe out there for almost 38 minutes.
Yes.
You know, I mean, so I don't think Eric's going to let him be out there for very long if his knee isn't feeling right. To be able to play 38 minutes 3 weeks after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery says, well, 1, arthroscopic knee surgery is a pretty incredible process. 2, Isaiah Joe's knee should be just fine. Thank you very much.
I haven't heard anything. Oh, and you may have. I don't know if you have since you're up there. I don't think anybody has said anything if his knee was messed up. Like if he had any swelling after the game. Otherwise, it probably would have been reported. But no, you can't ask for a better game coming off that kind of surgery. It's not like it was bad surgery, but just surgery in general, and playing almost 38 minutes in the ball game where I thought, I'm sure you thought, and like Ty and all them guys, he wasn't playing over 20 minutes, or so we thought, just to get him back into game shape. But dude played like he ain't missed a beat on Saturday, and we needed every minute of his 37 minutes of action.
Well, you're going to need everything you can get from him for the rest of this season. I mean, you can hear it in Musselman's voice there, and I don't view it as a coach making excuses for why
Yes.
they had struggled in the previous 5 games. And you can say excuses are reasons that are told to someone that doesn't want to hear the reasons. That's why they'll call them excuses. Why did Arkansas lose those 5 games? It's because Isaiah Joe wasn't on the team. If it's a team that's got more depth, then there's somebody that might be able to paper that over a little bit. If there was another, look, you're not going to have another shooter of Isaiah's abilities. There's really not many other shooters in the country that have the same ability of Isaiah Joe. But there are other players that can come off the bench and provide a lift defensively or a lift rebounding, and you find different ways to win games. This is not a team that has that sort of margin for error. So now that you've got Isaiah back, you're looking at being on the bubble in a league that's filled with bubbles. And I know Lunardi said on the telecast on Saturday that he thought a 4-1 finish with a victory in Nashville will be enough to get Arkansas to the NCAA tournament. But then I look at his bracketology this morning, and I don't even see Arkansas on there. The only thing I saw on bracketology on ESPN this morning was Little Rock, was UALR, and Lunardi's got them 15th as the Sun Belt champion playing Duke. Jerry Palm has Arkansas in the field of 68 as an 11 seed playing Ohio State and then playing either Duke or Little Rock. I think these bracketologists do have a sense of humor. But to me, it's a lot of it has to do with like who you beat and who do you lose to. When you look at Arkansas's final 4 games, there's home games against Tennessee, LSU, road games at Georgia, at Texas A&M. So again, if it's about quality of opponent and quality of win, a win at Georgia, not a quad 1 win. A win at Texas A&M, not even close to quad 1. A home win against Tennessee, not quad 1. Their net ranking is 64. A home win against LSU, that's your best shot.
Yeah.
That's your best chance to get those important quad 1 wins. And I still think that one win in the SEC tournament, it matters on who it is you're playing. Arkansas loses 2 more regular season games. I don't think it matters what happens in Nashville unless they win the whole thing, unless they win the SEC tournament. 2 losses in their last 4 regular season games means that you can't finish any better than 2 games under 500, 3 games under 500 in the SEC. It's not going to get you there. So it also gets you into the bottom 4 in the league, and then it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're out of the conversation. You're not even a bubble anymore. You're a piece of gum that's been thrown into the garbage can. For a win against LSU at home, that's going to go a long way. That's going to mean a lot more than a road victory against Texas A&M. So sure, win 3 of your final 4, but one of those wins absolutely has to be LSU.
Do you think it's as simple as winning? I mean, yes, I agree 100% with what you're saying. We need to either win out, go 4-1, kind of like what Lunardi was talking about. Do you think it's just a matter of winning or winning with style? Like, not just beating Georgia by 69-68 or something, but like beating Georgia like the way that we're probably supposed to beat them, like the way we beat Vanderbilt, beat them by 15 or 20. Do you think that? I mean, to me, if you beat, I mean, there's a difference between win. Like if we win by 1 against LSU, that's great. But if we win by 1 against Georgia, that'll hurt us, in my opinion. Those games we need to win. We need to win convincingly and do it with style, because right now we need to win, and we got to get some. We need style points at this point, I think, personally, to go along with the wins.
I think the style points might help a little bit, depending. I mean, just first of all, focus on just getting a win.
Yes,
win first. I know. The net ranking, the committee's supposed to take, not the committee, but the net ranking is supposed to at least factor in margin of win or margin of loss. But Arkansas has played so many close games this year that I think by this point, the margin of win and margin of loss is what it's going to be.
Right.
You're not going to. I just don't see a 15 or 20 point win or loss out there really affecting it all that much. It's more about victories right now. Yeah, I mean, if you beat LSU by 10, that's going to help. That's going to help. It will. But I also see 1 point win at Georgia, 1 point win at Texas A&M is nice. Does the net ranking really? Do you rise even more? That much more if you win those games by 10? And again, with the net ranking, Matt, it takes into account final score margin, but only up to 10. It doesn't go any further than 10 points for the margin of victory. So it matters.
Yeah.
But a 15 or 20 point victory means the same as a 10 point victory as far as the computer is concerned. But you got to win your games. Yeah, I mean, style points might be one thing, sure. But more than anything, it's like, and we got a text here from somebody that I think this is right. This is Porter.
Yeah.
Porter says more wins you get with Joe proves to the committee how much him being out affected those losses. That's exactly right. That's why if they finish hot, you finish with a 5-game winning streak after you lost 5 in a row, and the difference in those 5 games is Isaiah Joe. The committee can look at this and say, yes, I mean, this team is this right now. They are this 5-game winning streak team with this player, and they are not the team that lost 5 in a row without him. It's not like you're going to discount what happened against, in that 5-game losing streak, but you're supposed to look at the body of work and look at injuries and what it means for a team that's now healthy going into the conference tournament. So for me, it's more about showing the committee that this is a winning team with Isaiah Joe rather than, losing games with Isaiah Joe, which they just didn't do very much.
I'm going to stand on the side that the tournament committee will lean on the fact that we didn't have Isaiah Joe during this 5-game losing streak. The biggest line, we keep harping on it. If you win, everything else will take care of itself. I do think we need some help. We need some help with the teams above us to lose, maybe get some help in that part. But as long as we win the games we're supposed to win, and if we can pull off an LSU win, I think we're in good shape. That's my personal opinion. But it all comes down to winning.
You're a very hopeful person.
I am very hopeful. It's a Monday. It was a great weekend. I got my favorite sweater on and my favorite hat. I'm in a good mood today.
And I think you desperately want Arkansas to be in the NCAA tournament.
Well, who does?
I think my previous co-host Ty did too, but I'm sensing a little bit more desperation on your part.
I'm not really. This team is talented enough to get there, and it kills me that just a couple bounces of the ball go a different direction. This is a completely different conversation. Plus, it's year one. This team is talented enough to get there. If we don't get there, that's fine. It is what it is.
It's just funny that here it is. 2 months ago we were all laughing at the preseason poll,
right?
The SEC media poll. It was like, look, this finishing 11th, right? Yeah, wow. Look at them; they're in the top 3 right now, top 4 in the SEC, and here it is. And they really are exactly where just about everybody thought they would be, which is borderline bubble, borderline NIT, near the in the bottom 5 in the SEC right now, with a chance maybe to get back into the middle of the pack. I don't think they'll finish in 11th place. I see Arkansas. If you pick up 3 victories, you got a shot to at least finish in the top 5 or 6. But really the basketball season has kind of played out in a way that a lot of people expected it to. Hey, by the way, Halftime's brought to you by the Fence Man. If you own a business that needs more security or needs more curb appeal, a new fence from the Fence Man does both for you. They specialize at the Fence Man in custom installations and been doing it for over 40 years. Things like gates and controlled access card readers. The Fence Man can come over for a quick, no-obligations quote, and all you got to do is call 479-782-3936. And then ask for Henry. That's the Fence Man, a division of Quantum Property Services. All right, coming back after the break, Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. Do a little college basketball with Connor, but mostly college football. So stick around as halftime continues.
When in doubt, expense it. You're listening to Halftime.
The 2020 GMC Sierras are here. Save up to $14,000 off at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 GMC Sierra Crew Cab has the best in-class head and leg room. And with $14,000 off, it's as low as $34,745. And 2019 Buick Encores, the hottest selling Buick model, only $17,999. Sweetheart deals on GMC Sierras and Buick Encores at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
The new year is here, and Art's Barbecue and Burgers is ready with healthy choices on their menu. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has smoked chicken that will melt in your mouth, a variety of salads to choose from, plus a grilled chicken breast that's always a smart option. And use the Waiter app to have the full menu at Art's Barbecue and Burgers brought to your home or business. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, giving you healthy choices to start the new year off right. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, next to Aaron's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
If you needed major surgery, you probably wouldn't choose a doctor who's never been to medical school. So when your car needs major repairs after a collision, why would you take your car to a body shop that's never been trained? Evans Body Shop is among only 10% of collision repair businesses to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold class shop. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. With the safety of your vehicle and your family at stake, choose trained repair professionals. Choose Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. We love it when a new year rolls around. It's a clean slate and a chance to start over. Who doesn't love that? We want to help you make 2020 your year. Come in, share your goals with us, and we'll help you achieve them. Not only do we have the best running products, but we have the know-how, the connections, and events to get you started and keep you going. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the fun happenings at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
This is ESPN 95.3. Hey, You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Joe, for the record, gets it from the corner. Isaiah with the three. That's his 103rd of the year, and he sets an Arkansas record for made three-point baskets in a season.
Go to the phones. Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South joining us here. He is the editor and columnist at Saturday Down South. Joins us usually on Mondays. Connor, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Doing really good. I could not wait to get you on the phone today so I could ask you how you how you went to compare Brett Bielema to cans of tuna.
Yes.
So have at it, my friend. I thought that was a great column on why nobody's hired Brett Bielema right now. I just didn't expect the canned tuna comparison.
Yeah. So to be 100% transparent here, I like Brett Bielema. I think that the job at Arkansas is a little bit more difficult than we give it credit for. I think that the success at Wisconsin that he had was not by accident at all, which I said those points in the column. But here's the thing. Michigan State and Colorado just treated him like the can of tuna that's in the pantry. When you're there on Saturday night, you know this feeling. Everybody's had this feeling before. It's Saturday night, and you've got that feeling of, I am really, really hungry, but I don't really have anything that appeals to me. You're looking all over the place in your fridge and your pantry, and you're like, well, I have food items. Like, I have stuff that I could have for dinner, but why would I want to settle for the can of tuna when I can just go out to eat? And I can go to a restaurant. I can get Qdoba. I can get Chipotle, whatever it is, when that option is always going to be there. And to me, Brett Bielema, the way that he was treated by Colorado and Michigan State, where he was interviewed and linked for both of these jobs, and it was like, okay, we're talking about these openings in February. The candidate pool is not necessarily great. It's relatively watered down, and there's momentum that maybe he's going to get this opportunity. And then we hear that both of them reset their coaching searches, and we're like, you know what? I don't think we want to go with Bielema. And that's not to say that he's worthy of that sort of treatment, but look at all the situations now that have gone against him. I mean, he didn't get the Kansas job. He didn't get the Kansas State job. He was even a potential option at Nebraska had they whiffed on Scott Frost. That didn't happen either. This is now going to be his third season away from the college game, and I just wonder, with the way that he went out, if that is now becoming a tougher and tougher sell, especially in the Big Ten and the SEC, where the average head coach now is making north of $4 million a year. Can an athletic director really say that is money that we're going to be willing to invest in Brett Bielema? I just don't see it.
Do you think this could be something where he's almost like with the old school tendencies per se, because he wasn't necessarily one of those coaches that like spread it out, or let me rephrase that, maybe not a coach to adapt to maybe what the team has or kind of how college football is kind of going in the direction of. I mean, it worked at Arkansas for a short period of time. I think we could all agree with that.
Yep.
Do you think it could be something where just maybe like the unwillingness to adapt per se?
Absolutely. And I think that's really at the root of it. I mean, perception is everything. Perception around Les Miles was that his system was outdated. It was proven to be outdated when all of a sudden LSU was able to win at a different level. And I think that it hurt him as well in his search for new jobs, and the stubbornness that he had of not willing to be able to adapt with the times. And ultimately, he settled for what many believe to be the worst Power 5 head coaching job. Now, Brett Bielema, the way that he went out at Arkansas, where, he wanted to play this smash mouth style. He said, we're going to try and beat you in the trenches. And he's not necessarily a guy who was, going after these innovative offensive minds. I think that has definitely hurt him because, how you go out and how you're perceived nationally matters. Cliff Kingsbury was fired at Texas Tech, and then he was hired again for an NFL head coaching job. Why?
Right.
He was an innovative offensive mind. Everybody goes out for a different reason. And I think right now for Brett Bielema, there's a rebranding that needs to happen, and he's not even necessarily getting a chance to do that rebranding. For all we know, he's going into these interviews saying, hey, I'll adapt with the times. I'll get a young offensive mind in here who is really willing to kind of get us into the 2020s and looking like this high-powered college team. That's fine, but I don't know if he's even been given that opportunity yet, and that to me is holding him back, and it's going to continue to hold him back because chances are, I just don't see that somebody's going to be willing to invest what it takes necessarily to want to bring him on board at this stage of his career.
Almost sounds like he almost needs to go maybe like Division II or something to a smaller school and kind of almost in a way build his reputation back up. And if he can,
a little bit,
if he can almost do it on that level, then he might start to get opportunities at a Colorado or maybe not a smaller Division I school, but at a big Division I school.
Yeah, I think that if I'm Brett Bielema at this point, and I've looked and I have seen the opportunities available at the Power 5 level, and I've watched how these job interview processes have unfolded, I'm saying that if I really, really want to get back into the college game, and there's no guarantee that he'd be willing to do that because he's got money and he could have a long career coaching and he could coach in the NFL. He might not need that at this point of his life to want to say, I'm going to take a Group of 5 job. I'm going to do what it takes to try and recruit to win at a Group of 5 place. I'm really willing to put myself out there, improve myself so that I can get this Power 5 job. I don't know that he's going to do that. Maybe there's still a part of him that says, hey, look, I was at least given a chance to interview for these jobs before. Maybe I'm closer than what perception sort of says, and maybe I will just get that right opportunity to open up. But I think it's a very tough place to be at, watching the way that this unfolded at Colorado and watching them end up with somebody that was on nobody's radar whatsoever. And then seeing the report from Adam Rittenberg that, they were resetting the coaching hiring process after they had interviewed Bielema. That to me is not a good sign necessarily for somebody that's trying to get back into the college game.
Well, hopefully he can get back up there, and we've lost Phil. His connection is frozen, so right now, Connor, it's just me and you talking. So just in case if you don't hear Phil starting to talk here in a minute. Want to get your thoughts, too. Obviously, it's February, and we've got a long way to go before the football season rolls around. But I wanted to get your thoughts to see what your take is on the Arkansas quarterback situation. And with several guys coming back off of last year's team, you add Felipe Franks, you got Jack Lindsey, John Stephen Jones, KJ Jefferson, you got the new kid coming in from Malik Hornsby. I just wanted to see what you thought. Is this Felipe Franks' job to lose, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you go out and get somebody like Felipe Franks because you know that it's going to be a one-year deal with him, and you're going to try and do what you can to make it work. And I think that the timing of it, too, after the Kendall Briles hire, that makes sense. You don't usually go out and get a grad transfer that's as well-known as Felipe Franks unless you have the intent of starting him. And now the benefit for Kendall Briles is, look, like Felipe Franks had, I don't want to call it 2 years because he was injured for most of this past season, but at least 2 full off seasons in Dan Mullen's system. Now, Felipe Franks, before Dan Mullen got there, was not a mobile quarterback. He was not a guy necessarily like you would think would work with a Kendall Briles in his system. But is there that potential there? Yeah, there is much more potential for him to be able to do those things needed to execute that offense. That is going to be huge for him, and I'm sure it was a big selling point for Felipe in the recruiting process of knowing that, hey, look, there's somebody who's willing to work with his skill set and say, hey, we're going to allow you to do both of these things. We're not just going to, expect you to throw it 40 to 45 times a game, and we're not, at the same time, we're not also going to have you run it 20 times a game. I think that there's a middle ground there, and I think Felipe Franks is going to be the guy at Arkansas until further notice.
And regardless of how anybody looks at it, and it doesn't have to be a Razorback fan, it could be you, it could be anybody, Felipe Frank, I mean, just in itself with getting Kendall Browse as a new OC and getting some of these new quarterbacks in, the quarterback situation is vastly improved from what we had last year, because despite how it ended in Florida for Felipe Franks, he's been there, he's done that, he's battle-tested, and in some games he did really well for the Gators.
Right. I mean, you're essentially comparing Felipe Franks to Nick Starkel, and I actually think Nick Starkel could have had success at the Power 5 level. Like, I think he went to a rougher situation than he even realized, and I think if he had been given the keys to the Jimbo Fisher offense back in 2017 or 2018 rather, I think it could have been a different story. But ultimately, he was not able to win that job because Kellen Mond had more skills that Jimbo Fisher wanted to work with, and Nick Starkel has really struggled to find the right situation for him. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the comp at this point. The talent in that room is definitely at a better place. Whether or not they're going to be able to maximize it and compete at an SEC level, that remains to be seen.
Well, Connor, we sure do appreciate it. And just from my perspective, just because I don't know if you heard me, that article that you wrote is absolutely fantastic. And it made me quite hungry when I read the part about the tuna and everything. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you bringing my lunch
really
bill.
Good.
Connor O'Gara joining us here on Halftime. Connor, we sure do appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Connor. Connor O'Gara joining us here from Saturday Down South. We have got about 30 minutes left here in the break.
Do you like anything with your tuna fish, or you just eat it raw out of the can?
I like to put some pickles in there, too.
Pickles? I like sweet relish. A little maybe.
Never tried sweet relish in it. We're going to have to get some tuna after the show. When we come back, we've got 3 up, 3 down, and we will wrap up this Monday edition of Halftime. And we are working on getting Phil back in with us here, so hopefully he'll be able to close the show with us, and we'll do that. We got 3 up, 3 down, and we will be back here in a moment on ESPN Arkansas. You are listening to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas.
The best midday show in the Natty State. You're listening to Halftime.
Start building the backyard of your dreams with a semi-in-ground pool from our friends at Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here to tell you about the best pool builder you can find anywhere in the region. It's Burton Pools and Spas. Award-winning pool designs, award-winning service, and people you can count on for decades at Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, if you'd like to have a pool in your backyard to spend quality time with family, keeping you cool all summer long when the temperatures get hot, but you don't want to break the bank, ask about semi-in-ground pools. These are a great way to go to provide all the comfort and all the quality time with family right in your own backyard with a semi-in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. And semi-in-ground pools start at just $99.97. So enjoy the backyard of your dreams with a semi-in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas for under $10,000. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
2020 annual tickets are available at Ben Guerin Golf Course. 18-hole green fees as low as $11.66 per round on a regular unlimited plan. And seniors, juniors, and veterans can play as low as $10.58 per round on the same plan. 18-hole green fee with cart as low as $22.50 per round on an unlimited plan with cart. And seniors, juniors, and veterans can play as low as $20.83 on the same plan. Book your corporate and charitable outings now at Ben Guerin Golf Course.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. 2020 is a leap year. That means you get a whole extra day to save up to $2,900 off of retail value on my best Rath Road Ready inventory selection ever. Don't settle for the usual used car. Let my team of non-commissioned solution specialists help you find the Rath Road Ready vehicle that's perfect for you. And you'll get special pricing up to $2,900 below retail value. Waiting on a tax refund? Just bring your W-2 and let us show you how you can start driving better now. If you're planning on keeping your current ride for a while, we can help with your maintenance and repair needs in our Meineke Car Care Center. With buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and a basic oil change for only $24.95 every day. It's still a short month, so don't wait. Limber up and leap into a new ride with great savings, killer selection, and the personal service you've come to expect from your friends at Rath Auto Resources. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is it time for a new printer? When looking for that new printer, you'll consider the new technology available, but also reliability, quality, cost, and access to service and supplies are important. With eConcierge from Dixie Digital and Xerox, you get free lifetime service coverage for your eligible Xerox printers, plus an easy way to order toner and ink. For more information, call Dixie Digital Imaging at 783-6600 or visit our website at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
6 seconds remain. Madden puts it up. Wow! What a finish! Bobby Portis, the magic man, arrives just in time. The tip-in and zeros on the clock.
Mike from Fort Smith sent us a message a little bit ago. You can send us your messages. Give us a call, 877-377-6963. Matty T, I know you're not a sports guy, but this would be some fun TV for Arkansas. He says, when we were talking about War Memorial and everything, he says, let's make the stadium debate with the University of Arkansas State debate and start every season with the game between the schools in Little Rock, and maybe even throw in UCA and UAPB to play earlier in the day. I know it probably will never happen, but he would like to see it. I think that'd be an interesting way to start the year. I mean, you got the Hogs versus Arkansas State, and then like a UCA and UAPB or Arkansas Tech. But I don't know. It's a double-edged sword that if you want to keep the game in War Memorial, but I completely get, and I'm sure when you came from Central Arkansas, you know how big it used to be from your time elsewhere.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the future is for War Memorial. But Mike, I like the idea.
Last time I was in War Memorial was for the high school kickoff classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are all, and see, I think the high school games. They don't draw a crowd like Razorback games. Obviously, not at all. But
kids love playing there.
Kids love, yeah, because the kids know, or let me rephrase that: the athletes' kids know, or student athletes. It's a whole lot better to say than athletes' kids. Student athletes know what that stadium holds and what's been in that stadium. I mean, 2 miracles on Markham. The Razorbacks beat LSU to go to the Sugar Bowl. A lot of history has happened on that field, and they know that. But in the past 8-9 years, hasn't been the most pleasant time at War Memorial. So we'll see what comes of it. I do think it'd be a great idea. Bruce and Fort Smith just sent us a tweet, and he said 2-win teams aren't allowed to have debates. I agree completely. Hopefully times are changing for the Razorbacks. All right, it's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
Strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
3 up, 3 down here on halftime. We still don't have Phil, but I will read you his 3 up, 3 down, Matty T, and you can just kind of nod along with me because some of this I'm not real familiar with, but we will see what we can get here. His 3 up, 3 down. Madison Bumgarner, who is one of the pitcher in the Major League Baseball, has been winning rodeos under the name of Mason Chambers.
Is this true?
Apparently it's true. So good for him. One of the best pitchers in the major leagues. Been winning rodeos under the name of Mason Chambers, so good for him. See if I think we're getting Phil patched through.
Yes, we have Phil on the old backup system known as the telephone.
The old telephone.
Yeah, the old usual telephone
Yes.
will actually work, I think, for a moment.
Better than not having Phil at all.
The show was starting to fall off the rails without Phil on here.
We were
You
talking
think so?
about
You guys-
we were talking about Madison Bumgarner. He's apparently in the rodeo circuit on the weekends.
Well, I didn't realize. Apparently, he's been doing this for a long time. It's just the media finally found out that he's been using an alias. Mason Chambers is the alias that Madison Bumgarner has been using to compete in rodeos for like the last 6 years. And he's good. He's won some of these rodeos. And it's a two-man rodeo team that he's been a part of. I'm not into rodeos. I haven't been to one for a long time. But apparently, two-man rodeo, one person ropes the front legs and the other person ropes up the back legs.
Ah, interesting.
And so, yeah, I mean, he's won some things in it, but I also wonder, like, if this is allowed in his contract. Like, they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to take part in activities that could
injure them.
That could injure them. And take them out of what they're actually supposed to be doing, playing baseball. So I guess, I think I saw, like, Bumgarner is a left-handed pitcher, but he is a right-handed roper. So that makes him multi-talented.
Ambidextrous when it comes to baseball.
That's fantastic. It's almost like the Twitter burner accounts that you got going. So this is like the burner version of Madison Bumgarner.
That's right. You think you'd want everybody to know. It's because that's such a tough thing to do. You'd want everybody to know.
What else 3 ups, 3 downs you got, Phil?
Well, I know we didn't get into it during the show, but the heavyweight title fight on Saturday was at least entertaining. And
yes.
I guess it had an outcome that we weren't really expecting. But it was Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder, and I guess my up is that heavyweight boxing was like a thing again, because it really isn't. I mean, MMA has surpassed boxing in the American landscape, and it's been a long time since boxing has felt like it's had the importance that it had over like the previous 120 years.
Yeah,
where boxing was up there with football and baseball and basketball as America's most favorite sport. I mean, maybe some of the greatest sports movies ever made were boxing. And it's not that boxing's not back because Fury beats Wilder, but at least it was talked about. And I watched the fight in a way that I've never watched a fight before. And maybe people are used to watching boxing matches in this way now, but I'm not, because you used to want to watch it on like the largest screen you could get.
Yes.
I remember watching Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard fight on a movie screen. We actually paid to get into a movie theater to watch this fight. And now you're watching it on smaller screen. I mean, legitimately, like the smallest screen that's anywhere near you. I watched the fight on a Twitter stream. Somebody just, I guess was
held their phone up to something. Held their phone
yeah,
up
they
to
were
their
holding.
TV.
They were holding their phone up to the screen, and so I went out with my cousin in Gainesville on Saturday night, and some of his friends. It's 4 of us standing around a pool table at a pool hall, and one of them's got his phone up for us to all see, and we're watching the fight around this guy's phone, and we're just centered around his arm. It was just a very odd way to watch a fight, but I guess I was just happy enough that I got to watch the boxing match anyway.
I sure remember the times, and I'm sure you two do too, when I think I was 5th, 6th, 7th grade maybe, when Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins were fighting, or at least during that 2 year span, and it was the mad craze just to go, like he said, find the TV, find the screen, and go watch that thing.
There's been a few UFC fights where I've had to find like bootleg Facebook streams and stuff. Some of even the Conor McGregor, stuff. I've been interested enough to try to find a bootleg stream of it.
Phil, give me your down for the week or down for the day.
Well, I've got another up. The other up is this Zamboni driver, this emergency goalie that won a game for the Carolina Hurricanes. Even though I'm going to guarantee you he's like a huge Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and the game was being played in Toronto. Did you know about this? I mean, hockey teams, NHL teams carry 2 goalies. That's it. You know, and most Major League Baseball teams will carry 2 catchers, but there might be an emergency catcher that's still on the roster. You know, they have an emergency catcher that really plays first base or plays third base. And it's like, well, if our second-string catcher gets hurt and the first-string catcher's hurt, then we'll put the third baseman in as the catcher. In hockey, it's a different thing. I didn't even realize this, but there is a designated emergency goalie at every NHL building. And this emergency goalie is available to both teams.
Wow.
If both of their goaltenders get injured, and that's what happened to Carolina, both of their goaltenders got injured in the first 2 periods, so they took the Zamboni driver. The guy who drives the Zamboni. He's 42 years old. He's had a very short professional playing career in the minor league, but had to stop playing, I think I read correctly, in 2004 because he had a kidney transplant. And so what has he been doing? He's been like the practice goalie for the team that's called the Toronto Marlies, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs minor league affiliate, and he will work for the Toronto team during skills competitions as a goalie. You know, he's like the guy that they'll practice shooting on, not the guy that really practices stopping shots. So they like legitimately take this guy. I was about to say off the street, but they took him off the Zamboni. They put him in a Carolina Hurricanes sweater, but he's wearing his goalie mask had Maple Leafs logos on it because they gave him the Maple Leafs gave him the helmet and the Maple Leafs gave him the shorts that he was wearing. So he's wearing both teams' equipment, and he ends up the winning goaltender for Carolina in a 6-3 win. He stopped 8 consecutive shots in the third period. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
He made $500 for the game. He gets to keep his jersey, and that's it. That's like probably I assume be like the end of his career, or at least, you know, because Carolina was going to bring somebody up from the minor leagues to actually, you know, like be a real professional goaltender instead of a Zamboni driver.
Matty T, you're emergency.
Am I?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're the emergency.
Yeah. Until then, I'll just be driving the.
You needed an emergency, so you're getting knocked off the air. So I certainly appreciate Matty T being the emergency guy for us right then and there. Thanks, Matty T. All right. Well, we made it through halftime today, and hopefully the equipment will work tomorrow. Lots to get to tomorrow. We'll talk with Nikki Savinell certainly about this situation with Detrell Wallace and how this can affect Arkansas. And your calls and texts as well. So if the equipment works, we'll have radio for you. For Matt Jenkins, for Matty T, this is Phil. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Now, get up, get out, and get better.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from